We welcome you into St. X High School for this GMC GCL showdown between the Mason Comets and the St. Xavier Bombers. It's game 2 of the regular season for the Comets as they're trying to get into the win column tonight after a tough loss to Little Miami last Friday. I'm Daniel Panetti alongside my broadcast partner Isaac Vargo. And Isaac, you know, I wasn't at this game last season when we were at the Mason Arena, but you were calling this game, so you've seen these two teams last year. And for the Comets, it was a tough loss, 55-53 on a last-second shot. So what do the Comets have to do tonight to get in the win column?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a tale of two stories for St. X. They have a very similar team to last year. Two of their top scorers, Donovan Walskowski and Jacob Wasler, are still back for this season, but for this Mason team, they're still trying to find their identity. Second game of the season, as we said, last game against Little Miami was a little bit of a struggle trying to find their stroke, and they got to limit the turnovers in this game for sure. What I'd like to see for the Comets especially is using their big men. Ashton Carpenter got 2 minutes last game, 6'3", one of their taller guys in the middle. So, Dan, that's going to be an interesting matchup to see today. Of course, Jacob Wasler committed to Bellarmine for basketball, 6'10" down low, the biggest guy. Maybe the Comets will face all year. We'll see how that matchup goes for them.
Yeah, Wasler's the tallest guy in the GCL, and by a good margin. You said 6'10", 6'11", depending on the website that you look at. Last season, look at Wasler, 14 points, 11 rebounds for his double-double. That was his 4th career double-double. He had 3 of them last season. But for the Comets, this is the second time that we see them with almost a brand new group. A lot of graduates last year for them. You had Matt DeBross, Ben Manker, a few more depart from this team. But something that you liked from that first game was the Lupinski twins, especially Jacob Lupinski, number 23. He had 15 points in that first game, went 6 for 7 from the free throw line. We'll head to a short break for the national anthem. Stay tuned for tip-off here from St. Xavier High School on Mason Sports Radio. Pregame over, and we are ready here at St. Xavier High School. Your starting five for the Mason Comets: Bryson Johnson at the 1, Dylan Ringwald the 2, both the Lipinski twins, and Max Sherplin, number 15, in making his second start of the season. Comets, like we said, trying to get their first win of the season. Tip is up, and it's won by the Bombers.
That's going to be the battle down low for the Comets. They're going to have to get rebounds, and a lot of rebounds all day long. As you say, Lipinski guarding Wasler, the 6'10 forward.
It's number 2, Gruber, and he's guarded heavily by Ringwald. And that'll...
Something Coach Tui's done for this team. They're smaller teams. They're going to have to be really aggressive on the defensive end. Might have to sacrifice some fouls.
Dealey with it to the right side. It's Waskowski. South looks like he may have had a lane, but picked it back up. Waskowski now driving in, picks the ball up one more time, back out to the top. Nice defense from the Comets so far, not letting any open lanes.
Senex trying to move their offense. Comets really into them.
The 3 ball and rolls around and finally goes in. A 3 early for St. Xavier. They take the 3-0 lead.
Yeah, Walskowski, known as one of the best three-point shooters in the state, shows it off right there. Not afraid to shoot the 3 ball. Look for 33 on the outside today.
Strickland gets it to Lipinski. Back out to Ringwald. As Bryson Johnson, if the Comets want to stay in this game today, it's going to really come off of number 1. Johnson, wide open for 3. Can't get it to go.
Yeah, Johnson 4 for 20 in the first game, trying to find his stroke early, and if he can, the Comets will be in control of this game. They're going to have to hit shots and hit shots early. Watson
to McGeady for 3, no good. And Lipinski gets the rebound out to Sherplin, and Johnson will set up this offense. Like you said, Johnson, you hope it's just early season struggles that you've seen from the junior. You know, him being in our grade, we know how good of a player that Bryson is.
He's taken on a different role this year. Last year, he had guys, Ben Manker, Matt DeBras, he could kind of facilitate pass and kick to, and this year, he's kind of have to be that main option with Jacob Lipinski down the middle playing some two-man.
Sherplin was looking for Lipinski. Instead, it'll be turned over. And tried to pass it back, but Sherplin, great on defense. Brings it back. And a wide open 3 ball for Ringwald. Can't get it.
That's the looks the Comets are going to have to make early. Ringwald, really good three-point shooter last year, one of the best in the GMC. He's been his early struggles as well. Comets so far with good defense.
Another 3, no good. Rebounded by Waskowski and gets the and 1. A 5-0 start for the Bombers, and it comes from number 33, the guy who started 17 games last season, of Donovan Waskowski.
Yeah, Waskowski had one of the worst games of the year against Mason last year. 2 for 12 clip, 0 for 6 from 3, only 8 points. And we'd see early right here, already at 2 for 2 start, looking to get his 6th point of the game.
Free throws no good. Waskowski shot 71 from the line last season. There, can't get it. Ringwald for 3, no good again. Comets starting ice cold, 0 for 3 from the 3-point line. Quick in transition, and the Bombers take a 7-0 lead. Braden Riley, number 25, puts it in.
And the looks are all there for the Comets so far. It's just a matter of execution. It's hard to make it a game when you can't make shots.
So Johnson at the top takes another 3. This time, it's through. Bryson Johnson gets his name in the scorebook, and the Comets have life.
Yeah, the Comets have yet to shoot a non-3-point shot in this game. It's mostly because of that size difference. The Comets don't really want to test in the inside game. So far, Lipinski's done a very good job on Wasler in the middle.
And that time, it looks like it's going to be a travel on St. X. So the Comets get a turnover. And we saw that 7-0 start for the Bombers. Comets get that 3. Now they find themselves down 4, looking to swing momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, Daniel, so far in this game, the Comets down 7-3 on the scoreboard, but they've been playing their style of basketball so far, slowing down the tempo. Had 24 turnovers in the first game of the season. Have only had one so far in the game. Ringwald's taken some good shots.
Braylon Payton gets it to Manny Rogers, the junior, his first season on varsity. Gets it down to Jacob Lupinski.
As Manuel Rogers, as you said, checks into the game. Braylon Payton, one of the seniors on this team, one of the few seniors on this team. He's going to be used as one of those big guys down low.
He looked to get it to Rogers, but it's going to be another stop. Comets will keep the ball.
Just about 3:44 left in this first quarter of play. It's been defensive showing from both teams.
Johnson with it at the free throw line, and that pass is deflected, intercepted by Gruber. And Waskowski's going to take a three, and he nails it.
Yeah, Wasler gets on the scorecard. You would think for the 6'10 frame, think he'd be down low and dominating, but this kid likes to shoot on the outside.
Yeah, it sounded like we were both fighting to say the same thing. A 6'10 frame and gets the three ball to go. The shot from Rogers, no good. Rebounded by Wasler.
Right here from Mason, down 10-3 early. Got to slow down the tempo.
Wasler was looking for Jack Ryan. Instead, it'll go out of bounds. The Comets will get the ball.
As you said with Jack Ryan, he'll check out here, but he got that crucial steal for the open look for Wasler. Baseball star, played at Great American Ballpark, and no hit. Hamilton-Baden, one of the better teams in the Tri-State.
Yeah, it's Ryan's first year getting a lot of playing time on varsity. Lupinski's going to take it.
Lupinski so far in this game led the Comets with 15 points last game. Hasn't attempted a shot so far.
You got to think that was on the kind of the scouting card for the Bombers, is keep number 23 in check. They saw how good he was against Little Miami. Kept them in the game for the majority of the time.
Daniel, early Austin Trent's in this game, the only freshman on this Comet team. Got minimal minutes in the first game, but shows good size. He's going to be, you can see him a lot around the court screening.
And Trent is going to put it up, but can't get it to go. Like you said, the only freshman and one of the biggest guys height-wise for the Comets. He's standing in over 6 feet. And it's what the Comets need for a team where their tallest player is 6'3". To the outside, thought about a three. Waskowski from the top, and he gets it right through. Another three-pointer from the guy who had 18 points last game. Rogers, quick in transition for the Comets. To the outside, Sherplin.
Yeah, well, Comets, as I said, not playing a bad game. It's just Waskowski is going off right now in this game. Coach Tui will take his first time out of the game here for the Comets. Talking about this coaching matchup, a couple of young folks for both teams. Coach Ryan Fleming for St. X. Previously went to Summit Country Day, went 46-20 there at his early stint here for St. X. He's 18-7. Very experienced head coach. Got LaSalle a state title in his high school days in 2011.
Pretty good resume.
Say so.
The two teams with pretty young coaches. Coach Tui on the other side for the Comets. He hasn't been here for that long, so two teams, kind of young, and especially for the Comets. You look at the roster. Almost the entire starting lineup is completely different for this team, and I think that's why we're seeing such early struggles, especially on the offensive side. Where the Comets last game, they turned the ball over just way too many times to even count. So that had to be a big point of emphasis for this team this week. Lupinski's going to throw it in, finds Trends, and he's going to get it to Johnson on the right side.
Yeah, Johnson, only 3 points for the Comets today.
Trends was looking for Lupinski, but it's going to go out of bounds, last off the foot of Charlie Gruber of the Bombers. So the Comets kind of catch a little bit of a break. They keep the ball on St. X's side.
A really good backside defense there from the Bombers. This will be a side out. Just under 2 minutes to go in this first quarter of play. Comets have been chucking the three-point shot. Haven't gotten much to fall.
Brady McDonald forces the turnover for the Bombers. Now a 10-point lead for this Bomber team. So Riley. Riley's going to take it himself. Gets swatted away, and the Comets now in transition as Johnson takes it at the top. Nice move, gets the screen from Lupinski. Rogers gets it back out to Johnson. Thomas just trying to set up anything on the offensive side. Really nice defense. Johnson with a great move. Tried to find Trends, but it's going to go off his foot.
Yeah, good move there from Johnson, trusting the freshman. So far, it's been just that freshman experience getting the best of Trends, and Wyatt Cooper checks into the game.
Excuse me.
Three-point shooter. Wyatt Cooper is. Now Johnson will take it out of bounds. A little bit of miscommunication from both teams.
Yeah, almost looked like
letting the Comets know about it.
Almost looked like that ball was out on Mason. Instead, they're going to say it was last touched by the Bombers. So the Comets keep possession. Trends looking. And nice defense from John Vaith. And that's going to force a turnover. Trends could not find anybody out there. And just like that, it's St. Xavier basketball.
It's been no side out of bounds twice now. The Comets have been forced on 2 turnovers. It should have been 3.
And it looks like the Comets are trying to run a little bit of a press. We saw that versus the Panthers last game. Wyatt Cooper was right there directing it. Except with that press, the Comets were just never able to execute it. Wide open on the side for 3, 2 shorts. Teams fighting for the rebound. Waskowski was there. It's going to be a foul. It looks like it'll go against the Comets.
A shot there from Liam McGrady, only sophomore on this St. X team. Attempted 7 3-point shots in the 2 games, made 3 of them, so has had pretty good success from the 3-point line early this season. But so far, just about 50 seconds to go in this first quarter. Comets with only 3 points.
Finds Wasler. Now they reset their offense with Jake Source. Sad Waskowski. Or excuse me, that's Dealey. Wasler's going to take it up himself, rolls around, can't get it to go, and the Comets will get the rebound. Wyatt Cooper. I'm going to mention a nice little box out there from Bryson Johnson. Had a defender on him. That little box out helped Cooper get the rebound. Comets looking for any points. They find themselves down big.
Johnson's been flying around for the Comets so far. 10 seconds left. Comets will hold for 1.
Nice look to Lupinski, but he dribbles it right on the line. It'll be out of bounds on the Comets. 7 seconds left on the board. So likely maybe time for just one last shot for the Bombers before we head to the quarter.
Yeah, for the Comets, you can't foul. You can't give up a good shot either. Braylon Payton checking in to face Wasler.
He's going to drive all the way in to the left side, puts it up before the buzzer, but too short was the shot. That's going to send it to halftime. Or sorry, to the end of the first quarter, excuse me. At the end of 1, the Comets find themselves down 13-3. Stay tuned for the second quarter here on Mason Sports Radio. We welcome you back into St. Xavier High School for the start of the second quarter. Here as the Comets find themselves down 10, a score of 13-3. I'm Daniel Panetti with Isaac Vargo. And Isaac, that first quarter, almost nothing with the Comet way.
Yeah, didn't go the Comets' way, but the Comets had good looks. They weren't dominating in the first quarter, and right there, 10 seconds into the second quarter, the Comets already have 2 out of 3 points.
Yeah, it's Max Sherplin, number 15 there on the basket. He had 6 points in that last game. Nice look down. Was looking for Luke Source, but it looks like he's going to be fouled. He'll get 2 shots. Source last season, only 4 free throw attempts for the now junior. Went 1 for 4. First free throw up. Rolls around and goes through. That makes the score 14-5 in favor of the Bombers. I didn't mention about the Comets, they got into foul trouble a lot versus Little Miami. Averaged about 7 fouls per quarter. It was 27. Second free throw was good from Source. Now the Comets transition. Johnson finds Cooper on the left wing.
The Comets are moving this offense where Jacob Lipinski's kind of at that elbow spot.
Tyler Lipinski's going to put it up, can't get it, rolls around a couple times, bounces out. Back down to Wasler. Wasler wide open on the right side for 3, and they can't get it to go. It's Braden Riley, but an offensive rebound. Far 3, no good. And rebounded by the Bombers once again. Two offensive rebounds this possession for St. X.
Yeah, Comets did a good job in the first quarter of limiting those offensive turnovers, but with such little depth, it's looked like Comets have gotten a little tired, a little more lazy on the defensive end. And also referees letting the Comets play a little bit with these chippy fouls on the outside.
Tries to get the pass back but can't get it. It's a one-on-one for Max Sherplin, puts it up, and too much power on the right hand. Comets miss a big opportunity.
Yeah, it's just a look you have to make at St. X.
I think the refs may have missed a travel there on McDonald. Kind of stopped abruptly. And to Wasler, and he puts it up with the right hand. The 6'10 senior shows that size down there in the paint.
And you got to have Wasler beat you in the perimeter. You can't have any good looks like layups.
Jacob Lipinski gets it out to Johnson. Out down to Wyatt Cooper. Nice pass back to Johnson at the left wing. Nice man defense so far from the Bombers. And Jacob Lipinski gets it swatted out of bounds. But it will stay Comet basketball. And Isaac, you know, a big reason why the Comets find themselves only 5 points on the board is because this defense for St. X has been just almost perfect.
Yeah, for this team, the game plan's been hold Bryson Johnson because he's the only one that's really willing to shoot the ball with confidence for this team so far. Wyatt Cooper in the game, Johnson out. See if number 24 in green will get some shots going for this Comet team.
Nice pass down to Lipinski. He puts it up. And there's Jacob Lipinski. He gets himself back in the stat board. We mentioned 15 points in that last game versus Little Miami. Comets are going to want him to be big. Wyatt Cooper tries to get it out. Looks like potentially an alley-oop there was thrown for Jacob Wasler.
Dana, going back to that layup for Lipinski, that was an awkward layup with the left hand on the right side, almost under the basket. Made it look easy. Nice look there from Jacob Lipinski. Really good around the basket. 5 minutes remaining in this second quarter of play. Comets are only 7 points, but have held the Bombers in check.
Lipinski looks like he's going to go with it himself with the left hand and gets it once again. Lipinski starting to catch a little bit of fire here in the second quarter, and it's what the Comets need. Now 17-9.
Fancy footwork, Daniel. He's done a great job. He's really left hand dominant. Maybe learned that a little bit from Ben Manker last year.
Left side, a corner 3, 2 shorts, Out of bounds, Comet basketball.
Daniel, all of a sudden, Comet's only down 8, just takes a little bit of fire, a little bit of good shots, and the last 2 times down, the Comets have had the best shots all day with easy layups. Yeah. Johnson checks into the game as well as Trance for the Comets.
A heavy press for the Bombers. Manny Johnson was just trying to get it, and it looks like it's going to be a timeout for the Comets. First time tonight that we've seen the Bombers really do not just a press, but a heavy press.
Yeah, this Comet team has to have every single person with an option to catch the ball because they just haven't got any separation on these presses. And we saw it earlier for this Comet team. They've struggled with pressure, and that's what teams are going to do when they have a significant height advantage. They're going to bully you down low, and they're going to bully you in the perimeter. And that's one way of doing it.
Yeah, the Comets did not see a press versus Little Miami in that Friday loss in the Ohio Valley Hoops Classic. And so obviously only being one game that they've played, they haven't seen the press at all this season. Really, they've been the ones pressing. We saw it a lot versus the Panthers. And so far tonight, we've seen them kind of try and get a press. We've seen Manny Rogers, Wyatt Cooper down on the other end trying to get something. But the Comets haven't seen much pressure. They've been able to just take up the ball down the court with ease. So now in this timeout, Coach Tui, you got to think it's some sort of a way to break this press.
Yeah, in that press, and going back to Mason's press, it's more of a softer press in that zone kind of press. It's less like what St. Xavier does, where they just come in pressure and just try and double and just take the ball from you. The Comets are kind of more of a slow-paced press, you could call it.
Still with the heavy press, and Trent can't find anybody. Threw it into Sherplin, but it was too late, and it's another turnover. That's the second time tonight that we've seen Austin Trent throwing it in and hasn't been able to find anyone in the time given.
Dan, we got to give credit when credit is due. Just Bombers doing such a good job on the inbounds. So many turnovers from this Comet team, especially on that press after having a timeout to talk about it.
Down low to Wassler with the left hand, and once again the 6'10 senior with ease puts it right through. And we've mentioned the size difference many times. Rogers loses it on the floor. Timeout called by St. Xavier. It looks like the Bombers will have it, but we've mentioned the size difference a couple times, Isaac. The tallest guy in the GCL is who the Comets are playing in Jacob Wassler, 6'11", according to the GCL website. And the tallest guy on this Mason team is number 13, Ashton Carpenter, standing in at 6'3". And we mentioned 2 minutes in that first game versus Little Miami. He hasn't seen the court much, so really it's guys like Austin Trends, Wyatt Cooper, and the Lupinski twins that are going to be going for him.
Daniel, that's what happens when the Comets are so limited with players and minutes. They don't have the best depth in the world, and that's mostly because of that size and strength. You have to use guys so much of the game that they start getting tired, and that press wears off on them. You look over here at St. X, they've used 10 to 12 guys. Nice steal there from Cooper.
Cooper seals it from source, and before the shot, there's going to be a whistle blown. So that'll be a foul against St. Xavier. So the Comets potentially miss out on an and one opportunity, but it'll be a throw-in under the basket as Johnson will throw it in. Wassler in on defense, gets it out to Sherplin. And it was back out to Johnson. Goes out of bounds, but it'll stay with Mason.
The Comets got to slow it down. They did a really good job in that first quarter of just slowing it down. 3:45 to go in the half. Comets still trying to get to that double-digit mark. They've had good looks at some times, just haven't got it to fall. See if Johnson will try and shoot some shots here.
He does put it up, rolls around, but can't get it to go in. A nice little underhand layup there from Johnson. Just the rim not in his favor tonight. Dealey down to Wassler to the right side, wide open free. Waskowski, no good. a rare miss from the senior guard standing in at 6'5", who's already had a couple threes tonight. Comets catch a little bit of a break.
Yeah, you got to hope for the Comets that he doesn't make that all day.
Johnson's three-pointer, no good. In transition, Gruber with the left hand, right through. Another little layup for the Bombers. And the Comets
transition.
You think the Comets got to start going on a run?
Yeah, it's what will happen when you got a 6'10" guy that's willing to take the ball down the court and move the ball in transition. That's something that I think the Comets need to do when they get those rebounds. They got to start pushing the ball and getting the Bombers in foul trouble, because that seems like the only way they can get points right now. They haven't had the greatest looks in regulation, but if they can get to the line and get free shots, get a couple fouls and stops.
Yeah,
only down 12.
The tight defense for the Bombers has just been completely outmatching this offense. Tyler Lupinski will take it up for the Comets. The right side whistle. It'll be, looks like a hold against St. Xavier. The Comets will take it out once again.
So you can see Wyatt Cooper, 24, hands on head, looking at Coach Tui. And Coach Tui, I saw, gave him a little smile, letting the junior know that this might happen quite a bit, where you're going to be tired, but you're one of the better players out there, and you got to fight through it. 2.5 to go in the half.
Yeah, and Isaac, you talked about those fouls, getting in the foul trouble. That's what the Comets want. They shot 86% from the free throw line in that loss to Little Miami. A lot of it came from Jacob Lupinski. He was just, looked like he was tripped down there. Comets keep the ball once again. But like I just mentioned, the Comets is superb from the free throw line last game, and they hope that they can get St. X into foul trouble. Trends is going to throw it in again for the Comets. Already a few throw-in violations so far tonight. To Lupinski, and another foul.
And there it is right there. We were just talking about it, Daniel. That puts St. X to 5 fouls in the half. Just about 2 minutes left. The Comets will have free throws until the end of the half. And this is where you got to execute if you're the Comets. You have to narrow this lead down as low as possible.
And Isaac, here's the perfect guy for talking about free throws. Jacob Lupinski, 6 for 7, 85% in that first game. This is who the Comets want. And we'll call it an announcer's jinx there on that first one. Too much power there for the junior. I mentioned how important these free throws are. The Comets find themselves down by 11 with just 2 minutes left. Second free throw up, all net for Lupinski. Comets get into double digits. Quick McGeady to the left side for 3, right through. A big three-pointer there from the Bombers to make it 24 points and make it a 14-point lead.
Yeah, it's the risk with playing that press in the full court.
Lupinski just threw it up and kind of hoped there with that left hand. But now Riley's going to take it up to the right side. Waskowski for 3. No good, but he's going to get fouled. And that's going to be 3 shots for the senior. Already been to the line tonight. Shot well, 71% last season. The guy who scored 28 points in his career 3 separate times. First free throw too light on the power. See, last season Waskowski had 10 games over 10 points. It's what the guard is especially going to need for this team. Second free throw is good. That makes it 25-10, a 15-point lead for the Bombers, largest of the night.
Yeah, 1.5 left. Waskowski makes that one.
So he goes
Comets got to move.
He goes 2 for 3 from the line. Lipinski was looking for Johnson inside, but too much. Now Source taking it himself to Riley with the right hand. A beautiful put for Braden Riley, the junior guard at 6'4".
Hold there on St. X. 2 shots now for Tyler Lipinski at the line. It's just been transition all day for the Bombers. The Comets are getting tired. They can't get back on defense. Walskowski has torched the Comets from behind the 3-point line, and that size is starting to get the best of the Comets. Lipinski gets that one to drop. Swanson checks in for the first time today.
Yeah, talk about that foul, by the way, on Barswilt, the senior. And going back to that shot from Riley. Look at Riley, multi-sport athlete, football player as well, unranked to G24/7, but does have a D1 offer to Wake Forest. It was just announced not too long ago, so congratulations to the senior. Free throw is good from Lipinski. That makes it a 28-12 game. Bounce out of bounds. It'll stay with the Bombers. So number 22, Liam McGeady, will throw it in. With under a minute now left in the quarter, right before halftime, the Comets just got to find something to end this half off on a good note.
Comets moving to the 1-2-2 zone. Interesting move here from Coach Tui, as there is no shot clock in high school basketball. If the Bombers are smart, they're just going to wait until they find a good look.
Out to the left wing for 3, and perfect again. Donovan Walskowski has been on fire from the 3-point line. Quick to the outside, thought about a 3, but nothing. Clock below 15 seconds now. Comets likely just going to hold on to it. But Lipinski finds a wide open lane. Nice pass there from 24 Wyatt Cooper.
A good dish there from Cooper. 3 seconds to go.
And it looks like we're going to get a foul with .3 left.
It's going to be out of bounds on the Comets. Just off Lipinski's leg at the last second. Carpenter checks in for the first time today.
Yeah, it looks like he almost went up with it and said it's going to be out of bounds. So Comets catch a little bit of a break there, getting an out of bounds call. The .3 left, almost unlikely anything can happen. You got to tip this right off the pass. That's what they tried to do to get it to Wassler. Clock sounds as we will go to halftime. Comets find themselves down 17 after one half, 31-14. We're going to send it to a break. Stay tuned for the second half here on Mason Sports Radio. We welcome you into St. Xavier High School for the second half here on Mason Sports Radio. I'm Daniel Panetti alongside Isaac Vargo, and the Comets find themselves down large, a 17-point lead for the St. X Bombers over the Comets. And Isaac, we look at that first half, kind of recap what happened. It was a lot of three-pointers for the Bombers, and it started with Waskowski going 4 for 5.
Yeah, Waskowski with 16 points for this Bombers team, doubling his score from last time this Comet team and the Bombers faced off. He's been a sniper on the outside. It's mostly come from transition. The Comets haven't gotten back on defense. It's mostly because their star players, you talk about their juniors, Bryson Johnson, Tyler Lipinski, Y. Cooper, you could go on. They're all getting tired and then starting to get more lazy on the defensive end. The Comets have had some good shots. They got the Bombers in foul trouble, and it's only a 17-point lead. You could say it's a lot, but the Comets have had a good first half of play.
Yeah, and the Comets, look at last season. When the Comets were down in close games, when they were within 10 points, they were 3-10. So they knew these close games, but they weren't able to execute, and now they got to make a giant comeback to even get into that. And you look at another thing that's kind of separated these two teams was rebounding. Comets, according to the stats, no offensive rebounds from when they were on, and for the Bombers it was 4. So the Comets need to get those boards if they want to get back in the second half. Waskowski early puts it through, gets 18 on the night, and the Bombers strike first. Lipinski out to Johnson. Johnson only 4 shots in the first half. They need to get him going. Jacob Lipinski down 2 guys on him, puts it up, too much power. Bombers now on offense.
Yeah, talking about
a nice steal there from Sherplin, and it just kind of stops. Instead of going up with it, granted, he has Jacob Wassler on him, but you want him to go up with that.
Yeah, talking about one of these juniors, Bryson Johnson, he had 20 shots in the first game. He might have only made 4 of them. But in this game, it seems like he's a little more passive for this Comet team. He can be. He only has 4 shots today, made 1 of them. But he's going to have to be shooting a lot more often for this team if they're going to want to get back in this game and get on a hot streak.
Contested layup was no good. And now a 3 ball from the corner, no good from Waskowski. That's only his 2nd miss from the 3-point line tonight. Johnson, a spin, goes back the other way, puts it up, no good. And the shooting just hasn't been there for the junior, number 1. On the Wassler, and Wassler once again uses his size, and he's officially into double-digit scoring tonight. Had 8 rebounds in the first half, so already looking at a double-double watch.
That's a pro man's move there from 4-4. Keeping the ball high, and all those Comets defenders are going to want to do is get low.
A beautiful look underneath, and a timeout called. That was number 2, Charlie Gruber, the junior, and it's kind of getting out of hand now for the Comets. Already a 6-0 run to start this second half. And the Comets just scrambling for answers.
Yeah, it's overall just good basketball from the St. X Bombers. And the Comets, what they have to do in the second half, they have to slow things down. It might be a 23-point game, but you can't just throw the ball away like we've seen a couple times in this second half. You have to set up your offense. You still have to find good looks, because what we've seen in the last couple of years in these early games, talking about that game last year, the Comets, they lost that game, and it was a 10-point lead going into the fourth quarter, and then they went on a 1-5 slide to start the season. And then for the St. X Bombers, they start off 9-2. So it all starts to the beginning of the season having good habits, and the Comets might not win this one, but they have to create good habits for this team.
Yeah, the Comets had 2 6-game losing streaks last season, coming early and towards the end. And look at the first half as well. The 2 top shooters of Ringwald and Johnson, only 6 total shots in the first half. They need to get those guys going. That pass from Ringwald to Johnson went out of bounds. It'll stay with the Comets. And Jacob Lipinski will throw it in. But like we talked about when we came back, Isaac, the shooters just haven't had looks.
Yeah, physical play there from the 2 guards. Number 2, Charlie Grubber, and Emmanuel Rogers right there at the left elbow. A lot of hand checking from this Bombers team, as you see right there, fighting for.
Comets break. He's looking for Johnson, but it's stolen over the middle. A 2-on-1. And looking for a foul, nothing. Comets catch a little bit of a break. To the left side, Rogers for 3, no good. Goes out of bounds. It'll wait in the call. It looks like it'll stay.
It's going to be a foul on Rogers. Or with the push. Trying to get that trap in the corner. 5:33 to go in this third quarter of play. Comets have been ice cold to start the season. Today's been no different. It's been the pressure from the Bombers. Comets trying to bring pressure of their own here.
Gruber was tightly defended. A big pass down to McGeady. A 3-pointer, no good from Wolskowski. Looked for Johnson, but it was tipped up, received by Rogers. And a whistle is going to go in favor of St. X. They'll get possession.
Comets just going too fast, too fast. It's been a plethora of good looks on the outside in that press, but the Comets just haven't found them. It went St. X's way.
And that was what hurt them in the first game versus Little Miami as well. You can hear how adamant that Ryan Fleming in this St. X sideline is, but I mean for good reason. For offensively and defensively, it's been a great game for this Bombers team. It shows why it's usually towards the top of the GCL. But with the Comets last Friday versus the Panthers, they had just had so many turnovers by just trying to move their offense way too quick. Too many passes just going wide and not being able to set up an offense. And that's got to be, as a coach for Coach Toohey, that's got to just be killing him inside seeing his team play like that.
As you said, Dana, we had the pleasure, kind of a courtside look here right next to this St. X look right here on the bench. And as you said, Fleming is just fired up. Already played 2 games for the St. X team. Looking to go 3-0 here. Always want to get on that good start. GCL, GMC, teams don't like each other. If you can get those wins, especially how dominant they've been today, it's always a plus.
Full court pass to Dealey. Now back out to McGeady. A lot of far passes this possession for the Bombers. Gruber takes to the left side. Now Wolskowski with Johnson on him. McGeady down. And a foul easily called right there. As Wassler kind of bullies the Mason defender.
Yeah, Opinski trying to sell it, but just to the side of Wassler. Can't get the call there. It's his second.
McGeady's going to throw it in, finds Wassler with Lupinski on him. Takes that right spin to outside, no good from McGeady. And Source keeps it in bounds. Driving in with the and one. It was Brandon Dealey, but no. It looks like they're going to call a charge maybe on the Bombers. It's a charge, so the Bombers and their sideline thought that was clean and an and one. Except it'll be Comet ball.
That's a great play there from Wyatt Cooper. Getting set underneath the basket. Might have not gotten the cleanest of contact, but still good enough to get that charge call. That's something Coach Toohey loves to see. Something I'd love to see, Daniel. This senior Dylan Ringwald is still scoreless on the season. He's only attempted 5 shots all year. Just like to see him either take it up the middle or favor that 3-point shot. He's been so good.
Yeah, Ringwald has been kept in check pretty nicely. Johnson is just going to throw it off the leg of Braden Riley. It'll stay with the Comets. Johnson's done that a couple times this season. Did it on the corner against the Panthers. one time last game. Just find nothing open. Instead of taking that violation, just trying to get another look at it. This time, though, it'll be Sherplin to throw it in.
Another thing to mention here, Daniel, Trent's a freshman in this, checks into the game again. Ashton Carpenter, a senior, has gotten maybe 2.5 minutes this season. Very interesting to see if Coach Tui is willing to use him in this situation where it's kind of a blowout.
There's another
5-second call there.
Yeah, 5-second call. Rogers just had nothing open. Layup, no good for the Bombers. That was Blanco.
Yeah, John Veith checked into the game, just missed that layup.
A 3-ball is good. And there's what we've been looking for from the senior. Dylan Ringwald finally gets his name in.
There you go, Ringwald, first points of the season.
The right side, back down, and it's good. Vaith gets to the scoreboard. And Sherplin brings it right back. Looks like it might have been a walk.
Gonna give him an and one call with a flop in. Number 25, Braden Riley.
They're not liking that call. We'll see. No, it looks like it will be Bomber ball. A little confusion on the call there. Either way, St. X will have it. Dealey guard heavily. Ringwald there in on the press. Source on the right side. Those two guys just kind of playing keep away there from the Comets, back and forth. There's Jack Ryan to Vaith. Goes out of bounds. It'll be Comet ball.
And Dan, are we talking about how the Comets haven't had the most success on the offensive end this season? Talking about in the first half of that little Miami game, they had a little bit of success in that first quarter, but besides that, only 19 points here, 2:50 left in the quarter.
Yeah, now we'll see Rogers, the junior, guard heavily, puts it up and gets it to go through. Brennan Dealey had nice defense, but the junior Rogers in his first season as a Comet gets it up. He had 4 points last game versus the Panthers. Back in the scoreboard.
Comets doing a good job with this zone look, but what they're going to have to start realizing is St. X just going to hold the ball up as much as they are.
Dealey with the three-pointer. Can't get it to go. And they keep it in bounds. Shaq Vace with the rebound. So another opportunity. Left side, three from Source. Boom! From Jack Source, another one. The junior 5'9" guard gets another one to go. Out to Peyton. Peyton for three, no good. Now once again in transition. Peyton in a three ball from Wassler, no good. We're gonna go back up with it, and a foul on the shot is going to send Brennan Dealey to the line.
I mean, look at the effort down low from Dealey. 6-foot guard, one of the smallest kids on this team for St. X, out there getting down dirty, getting rebounds for this St. X team. I mean, you look at Weisler, you look at Ryan out there. It's crazy that it's Dealey with the rebounds. It's a whole new group here for the Comets. It'll be Johnson, Carpenter, Cooper, and both the Lipinskis.
Dealey shot 9 for 17 last season from the line, hits his first two. It was the only two. It was 52% last season. Now a 44-21 lead with just about a minute 30 left in this third quarter. Lupinski's going to take it up, dishes it to Jacob Lupinski. Down the nice pass from Johnson. Out to Tyler Lupinski and puts it right up and through. Nice little brother-on-brother magic there from the Comets.
Yeah, good look there. Comets have used the back cut a good majority of the game today. They've done a good job with it.
On the right side, guarded heavily from the Comets. Wazowski down to Source.
Yeah, 30 seconds. Look for St. X only to hold for one here to end this third quarter.
Now Ryan on the right side. McGeady back down to Source. And yeah, like you said, they're just holding this down. Under 15 seconds left in the quarter. Poked away by Wyatt Cooper. Can't get it back in bounds, so it'll be out of bounds on the Comets. Nice little tap in there from the junior.
And Dan, we've seen it multiple times there. This Comet team might need to get some better grip under their shoes. Maybe it's the St. X floor, but the Comets have fell 3 or 4 times just in the second half. 5 seconds to go.
Gruber and McGeady. Gruber's got to shoot it. And a whistle right before. The call looks like it'll be a foul. It'll send Gruber to the line. Gruber hadn't had shot a free throw last year. That first one, no good. Gruber misses both of them. And the buzzer sounds. Try to get one last little opportunity, but they can't get anything. And that'll do it for the third quarter. Comets find themselves down 44-23. A year after 3 quarters from St. X High School. We'll go to a break. Stay tuned for the final quarter here on Mason Sports Radio. We welcome you back into St. X High School for the fourth quarter here between the Comets and the Bombers. Comets find themselves down 44-23 after 3 quarters. Looking to kind of just get something to go into this next game on a good note. Shot from Wyatt Cooper, and it'll send him to the line, it looks like. Cooper, his first time at the line. Shot 60% last season.
And we talked a lot about today about good looks for this Comet team. They haven't found a lot in regulation getting through their offense, haven't found a lot of good looks, and that's mostly because just of that height advantage. It's really tough unless you're making shots all day. The Comets haven't. You got to get to the free throw line to execute your shots. Here, Ashton Carpenter getting his chance to guard and ball. The Bombers going through their offense. No need to rush, up 19 on their home court.
You start looking into the next games for these two teams. Comets will be back home on Friday the 6th versus the Princeton Vikings. Their first GMC game.
Tell you, talking about a tough schedule to start the season. Coach Tui's testing his guys. Start the season, Princeton, one of the best in Cincinnati, one of the best in the GMC. And then for St. Xavier, Chaminade Julienne, also in the GCL. Not in the same division as St. Xavier is, but one of the better schools as well. Played in the Ohio Valley Classic at Mason. Played Moeller, lost by about 9 points. That's a competitive team for St. X. They're going to try and keep their undefeated season alive. And then I believe after that game against Princeton, it'll be Coleraine for this Comet team.
It'll be Coleraine. They have 2 home games and at Fairfield after the Cardinals. Throw in immediately a whistle so that they might get Wyatt Cooper there on a foul. Comets, a bit of a positive today for them is that they've been in far less foul trouble tonight than that Little Miami game. We mentioned they averaged about 7 fouls a quarter, as they had 27 in that loss to the Panthers. But so far tonight, a little cleaner defensively.
Damn, the turnovers have been better too. 8 turnovers in the first half. Could only guess about 6. 14 still not great, but better than 24 that they had in game 1.
Right hand from Wassler, no good. Jacob Lupinski in on transition, no good. Oskowski to the right side, McGeady. That's an offside, far 3, and right through again for Donovan Walskowski. I mean, what a performance from this senior guard.
I mean, he hasn't missed, Daniel. I mean, coming off the bench for like 4 or 5 minutes, you could say, just because of the score. And he's just on fire today. Just the worst possible outcome for this Comet team. Good look there from Johnson.
Corner 3, bounces and is no good. There'll be a foul on St. Xavier after that shot, but there we go. The Comets just taking another 3. I mean, really the absence today has been those shots, even though tightly guarded by the defense. You know, they still just haven't been putting up those shots, and obviously you're not going to win a game if you're not putting those up.
Yeah, that's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to go into the body of Wassler. You're going to have to settle for 3-pointers, and so far the Comets have been the settling team in this game.
Six minutes, 20 seconds left during the timeout with the Comets. Like we said, they'll open up GMC play on the 6th versus Princeton. I'd like to mention tomorrow we'll be right back here on Mason Sports Radio at Princeton High School as the Mason Comets girls team will be taking on the Princeton Vikings. And we look at that game, likely going to decide the GMC. Those two teams ranked in the top 5 of Ohio. Or for Cincinnati, excuse me. So a big early season game for them. Comets, they've started their season undefeated. Had a huge win to start out the year versus Mount Notre Dame. And they look to kind of be at the top of the GMC tomorrow night.
Yeah, Daniel, I don't think you were wrong in saying that Princeton and Mason are both top 5 teams. Of course, they've been the last couple of years. Comets still have the players that normally do, Parrish and Habra, trying to get that state championship they've been destined trying to get the last 4 years.
And
It'd be a good one on Wednesday.
We've mentioned the first season without head coach Rob Matula, as he retired after 18 seasons as the Comets head coach. So a big year now. We mentioned the seniors looking to get a state championship. Comets on offense to Sherplin on the right side. So Cooper. Or sorry, that was Ashton Carpenter, not Sherplin. Ringwald, nice move there, down at the right block. And a nice pass over the middle, and it gets it to fall through. A nice little pass there from Ringwald, the Comets.
Yeah, that's a good sign for the Comets. We haven't had a lot of good looks today, but when they have, they've had those backdoor cuts. And they've used it to their advantage, maybe using them off of St. X's success today.
Wassler's able to keep it in bounds, going up with it. Look to be Wozowski. That'll send him to the line, another foul.
I mean, Daniel, this kid hasn't got any offers yet, but you got to feel like sometime this year the seniors got to get offered some type of D1 level. If you're shooting the stroke like that, getting to the line, 6'5" frame, pretty much D1 level right there.
Yeah, I mean, Isaac, when I was doing my prep for tonight's game, I had to check a couple websites to make sure that there weren't any glaring D1 offers for this guy, because a guy who scored almost 30 points a couple of times in his career and just played at such a high level that Wozowski has. And you got to think this is a guy that you're going to be seeing at the next level, at the D1 level. So those free throws, Comets. Now with Ringwald on the right wing, he's going to take it up with the right hand. Too much power. Fighting for the rebound. Comets turn it over. A deep pass on the right side, and John Vaith gets the Hail Mary and puts it through. Comets turn it over once more. Cooper lost his footing to Riley. Right hand, and he puts it in once again.
Yeah, it's just been ugly for this Comet team ever since the start of, you could say, halftime, maybe that end of the second quarter.
Yeah, well, no good once again. It's McDonald.
4.5 to go in the game. Comets' score might not reflect how they've played today.
And it's going to be a foul on the shot. McDonald is going to go to the line. It's a McDonald at 3 points the last game. Couple rebounds, 2 assists. That one no good. Looked at this season for the Bombers. They came in tonight with a 56.2 free throw percentage, which was second at GCL. Last season as a team collectively shot 66. Second free throw is good from McDonald. That makes it a 53-27 lead for St. X. Johnson to Ringwald, down to Cooper. In these last couple seconds, you want to see the Comets get some of their big guys in the category. And a nice downhill drive there from Wyatt Cooper. He puts it through. There'll be another timeout called.
He's had a good game today as well. Hasn't really gone his way with the three-point stroke this season, but down low, Wyatt Cooper's done a really good job. Staying through the play, got blocked there early, but stayed through it. Comets, as I just said, Comets down 25, but really doesn't reflect how they've played today. They've played a very good game. It's just that size advantage. And at the end of the day, it's just the Comets have gotten too tired of facing guys 4 or 5 inches taller than them. It's a really tough task for any team, especially a team that doesn't really have any identity right now. They don't really have that top scorer that you look to. They don't really have that top defender, top rebounder right now. So it's a work in progress for this Comet team. They're going to, as we said, Friday they're going to have that Princeton team. It's going to be another test for this Comet team, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this Comet team starts to build their mold.
Yeah, and Isaac, we mentioned it a couple of times about how new of a group that this Comets team is. They lost so many guys last year. DeBross, Menker, Abib, a few others there on that team. So just a complete fresh look, and we're only 2 games into the season. I mean, who's to say we didn't expect these bumps in the road for this team? But that kind of helps by playing some really tough teams like St. Xavier. Nice down low look for Barswitt. He puts that one through, but like I was saying, you know, playing a good team like this is going to help the Comets down the line.
It's about 3:30 to go in the game. Comets held to just 31 points. Held St. X just 31 points in the first half. Second half, 25 points. So game that if the Comets can make their shots, start getting a more high volume offense, 56 points is not a crazy amount to get in a game.
Yeah, and once these shooters like Bryson Johnson, Jacob Lupinski, Dylan Ringwald start to kind of catch their fire as the season goes on, these Comets, you know, this offense isn't what they're going to be looking like all season. It's going to take a few games, but you know that they'll start catching fire, and hopefully it'll start versus Princeton in just a couple of nights. Source to the left side, a 3-ball from Faith, no good. Rebounded. It's rebounded by Jack Ryan. Now finds Faith. To the right side, Barswitt. To the right side, a corner 3, and right through once again. The threes keep on falling for St. X as they reach now just under 2 minutes and 20 seconds left here in the fourth.
And should overcommit on defense from the Comets, trying to be aggressive as possible, but there's going to be open looks.
Another 3 for St. X. They just keep dropping these as we keep going. That was Luke Source on that one. Trends to Ringwald, one of his own, 2 shorts. Rebounded by the Bombers. Now under 2 minutes left in the game. Donald Source gonna take it with the right hand. Lays it up and through. And what a half that this guy, number 5, is having. Ball out of bounds, will stay with Mason.
Comets bringing in the JV crew here to end the game. You could say the JV starting 5 this is right here. Using all the sophomores they can. Cole Swanson being the main one that this Comet team looks forward.
So
There's Jack Drogi out there.
See what these underclassmen can do in just a little under a minute and a half left. Or sorry, just now under a minute left in this game. I think maybe these JV guys, a little worn out, had played their game right before this. A 3-ball on the outside, no good. Rebounded by St. X.
Yeah, this JV team's not going to be doing anything crazy. Just trying to work on their craft for when their time comes.
3 from McDonald, bounces around, no good. Or sorry, Barswitt on that 3 shot. Goes out of bounds now. Clock keeps running, 16 seconds left as this one is going to come to a close. As the Comets are going to fall to 0-2 on the season here. A tough loss to the St. X Bombers. Clock sounds, and that's going to do it from St. X High School. The game where the Comets, the play didn't really reflect the score, you might say, but either way, a 64-29 loss for this Mason team. That's going to do it here from us at Mason Sports Radio. We thank you for tuning into this game tonight. I've been Daniel Panetti with Isaac Vargo, announcing and doing the scoreboard work, a little bit of multitask.
Oh yeah, you know me.
Little shout out there, as well as Trevor Rose doing the camera as well. We thank you for watching here. Stay tuned tomorrow night as the Comets go into Princeton High School to take on the Princeton Vikings in a GMC showdown for girls basketball. That's going to do it. We say good night here from St. X High School. Go Comets.